Alright, so there's one underground rapper that I just can't stop listening to right now. And no, I'm not talking about Too Slimy. Nah, I'm talking about 1AM. I think out of all the new underground artists, 1AM is top 3 easily. He's an underground rapper out of Milwaukee, better known for his friends like Osamason, Okmar, and Wildcard. The main thing about 1AM is I think he's an Izaya Tiji clone, but in a good way. 1AM's first project, Star Worldwide, would be released on January 18, 2020. The first song, Star Worldwide, sounds a lot like some old doo-wop shit you'd hear from a few years ago, but just like on a very generic plug-and-B type beat from 2020. On the last song, V12, you can really hear his iconic flow being used over a classic Wi-Fi type beat. You got a line when you walking her dog, making his head, I was a hair dog, bang that nigga, but this shit not new. I sort of kind of like this song, but also this is an early example of the influence of Izaya Tiji in his new music. Overall, I'd give it a 4 out of 10. Not much else to say about this project though, so let's move on. 1AM's second project and also first album would be released on April 3rd, 2020. In all honesty, I didn't really like this album. It's mostly what you'd expect from an underground rapper in 2020. Ambient Wi-Fi beats and Mingo type beats, you know, with some plug and B. But some highlights from the album would be Danny Phantom. Turn to the ghost, little nigga, Danny Phantom. New coupe nigga, in that Phantom. Nigga on dick, I see here, fam. And the 6th song on the project, Bandit. I'd also give this project a 4 out of 10. 1AM's third release would come on October 21st, 2021. I think this is the best project we've talked about so far. The beats are still on par with the time period though, but just overall better than his previous work. Some of my favorites off this album are I Know You. Yeah, she full of red flags, I can't hold it. Yeah, I got archive, you can't own it. I got that thick bad bitch and she not bony. Lights Out. This nigga fake that too phony. I want that bitch, she too bony. Too far, I'm coming. And Laurent. Yeah, I did this shit on my own. Spend a bet on the clothes, these niggas too done to be prone. I got a rat, put it on his. I think One deserves a strong 7 out of 10. 1AM's fourth album, Zen, would be released on March 20th, 2022. This would be the first album that was predominantly produced by TDF and Perk 40, the producers he mainly works with nowadays. You can really tell that he's found his flow that he's been known for. Also, anyone who's an Izaya Tiji fan can hear the influence. But some highlights from the album are Zen. Up in that power, that clutch. Every so bad, this shit coming clutch. I'm a young nigga and I want some. I'm a young nigga, do it for fun. And Bottega. They say how you said I'm good. Make a bad like nigga, I should. He want a small little nigga, I would. I'm in the back, some more mud. All in all, I'd give this project a solid 6 out of 10. 1AM's Myself will be released on September 16, 2022. Production on this album is miles ahead of his projects released prior to Myself. The classic ambient beats produced by Alto SGP along with more Perk 40 and TDF. Also, Alto SGP is one of the most underrated underground prods of all time. Half of my favorite old summer songs are produced by Altos. I think people need to start giving him more credit, but I digress. My favorites off the album are Now. Somebody think he want fight now. No, I can't say that bitch life now. She shouldn't be in my life now. He talking, he flying like kites now. Too High. They wanna see my face like we chopping on Skype. Niggas hating on me, really don't know why. And Adderall. Hey, who is he? Oh no. Hey, these bitches be with me, I can't fuck with hoes. Hey, since I get paid, just nigga, how that go? I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Heart was released on January 13th, 2023, entirely produced by TDF. And he doesn't disappoint. This is probably my third favorite project from 1AM. We'll talk about number 1 and 2 here soon. Heart is the first album that had a clear sound and direction, much like his albums today. Some of my favorites from Heart are Celine. On me. Pocket rocket in my jeans. Never so scared he leave. I put my bitch in Celine. Art Ho. If I want some money, I take it. Broke ass nigga don't call when I make it. She threw it back like that bitch from Jamaica. Brother was in, nigga in the fake. And Scream. That one's in, now she a fiend. Bitch, I'm in the sky, this hoe looking mean. 8 out of 10 for me. In My Head was released May 12th, 2023. This would be the first time that 1AM would come under my radar. This album and his singles Film and OK would be how I even found 1AM in the first place. We see prods from Bullymon, OK, and even 1AM himself. In all honesty, a great introduction to 1AM's music if you don't care to sift through SoundCloud archives, which I have, but there are so many singles to make a video or even talk about. My favorites of the project are One More Night. Get off the beats, little bitch, I'm lit. I gon' knock him out of shit. I'm gone, little bitch got a deal. I'm live, bitch, I ride with a stick. Labyrinth. I'm sipping on some while I'm in the labyrinth. I see outside grab it. That bitch, she a rabbit. And Track featuring osamason.
Niggas weird, watch my bag. Wipe that hole, can't do that. Yeah, man, this whole fat. Tell that bitch, come throw it back.
Anyway, In My Head is a really great album. I really recommend you listen to it. 7 out of 10. 1AM's penultimate album, House Party, would be dropped on October 20th, 2023. House Party was one of my favorite projects that was released all of 2023. I remember waiting for a new 1AM drop, and then it finally came. House Party is probably the best production of any of his albums. This album has no misses, and in my opinion, his best project to date. Highlights from House Party are Arms,
Bitch, come in my arms. Boy, it's not that hard. Just pop 2 fucking bars.
Dancer Bitch, and probably my favorite 1AM song of all time, Cancer. House Party gets a 9 out of 10. And last but definitely not least, One Life. His newest project released May 31st, 2024. One Life is his latest album that has been released and by far his most popular. With Bless Up gaining traction on TikTok, One Life has brought a ton of new eyes on his music. One Life has amazing production from Perk 40, TDF, and 1AM himself. You can tell the direction for this album was far different from his previous. He really changed the flow up for a lot of the songs. It has a lot more experimental songs on it. The best ones off the album, in my opinion, are Van Gogh.
I'm like, what you want? Couple of bands for the shopper, I'm like, what you want?
Want To.
She called me like, Zan, do you want it? Hey, I'm gonna throw these bands cause I want it. Hey, yeah.
And Where You At?
Where you at? Bitch, want my phone, where you at? I'll blend in my shirt, hold that 10 bands on me, you can't hold that.
I give it a strong 8 out of 10. So that's it. That concludes the discography of 1AM and why I think he's an Izaya Tiji clone. But still a really good artist with potential to grow even further. You know, he's not done yet. He's gonna get even bigger, but yeah, that's it.